Well, hello friends, it's me Kemi in the Alaska wilderness. I got some short ribs cooking there. Just got a day off, off early on a Saturday and no work Sunday, which means off to the wilderness. So we were kind of half-assed. I got some short ribs cooking there, and it's taking a bit. And the Eskimo has already turned in for the night. It's 10 o'clock at night. Well, I'll tell you what happened. We were gonna go to a prime spot where I'd already done some prospecting and thought I knew where I could find some gold. But let's see if we can see this. We had a flat tire. That's a rough trail. And so we decided not to go further into the wilderness. Came back someplace closer to the highway. In case we have more trouble, we can at least walk to the highway, flag down some help. There's my little dredge there. Hopefully I'll get to use it tomorrow. I got a little spot over here that I think looks good. So as you can see, we found a convenient camping spot on a gravel bar. I noticed this dead tree that's fallen in the stream, and it looks like that's a lot of good gold bearing material. You know what? According to the literature I've read, books I've read on prospecting, root wads are a good place to look for gold. And I also have this other tree, and I believe it ripped loose from the bank right here, right down here, if you can see that. So I think that's where I'm going to be dredging tomorrow. Well, a little better view here. Anyway, we got this upturned tree, and looks like there's a lot of good material that I can get. I kind of wished I'd have brought my sluice box, but we had limited space. I brought my dredge. So we're just going to try digging some of this out, panning it, and see what happens. Well, good morning everybody. We made it through the night. We got the coffee going. Ooh, bacon in the pan. Gonna have a nice day out here in the Alaska wilderness looking for gold. Okay guys, so I was really excited to work out of that, well, that tree wad up there, root wad. According to the miner's lore, of course, root wads are good places to find traces of gold. That didn't pan out. That's interesting, the etymology of that word, because that's a phrase in common use, but that is actually what it means. When you think you found someplace where you might find some gold and you pan it down and find out no. But what I'm looking at here is this root wad. This tree has been washed out of the bank right there, and I don't believe that little area has been worked. I know this hole is real deep and it's been worked, but don't worry, Kimmy has a wetsuit. We're gonna get across there with the dredge and try to work that a little bit. So we finally got everything going. There were technical issues, and yeah, the wetsuit is a real pain in the ass to get in and out of. Wished I'd have been able to find a snorkel, but definitely the mask helps, so I can see the end of the nozzle versus just blindly poking it in the ground. So slowly but surely I'm learning how to work this thing, and I'm back at it. Well guys, kind of sad, we've broken camp. I got a little bit of work done, about a tank of fuel in my little dredge. Got it loaded up, gonna take it home and do my clean out there. Would have liked to have stayed, but you know, this is, I gotta be well rested before work tomorrow. And we have thunderstorm coming in. We've been hearing it rumbling for like 30 minutes. And we're gonna get out of here and limp back to town. on her little wimpy donut tire. So I wanted to wrap up last weekend's little video I took because I was kind of disappointed when I did clean up. I didn't even get a single color, and pretty disappointing after all the money I've invested. It's still a learning phase though, and I'm learning well that I bite off more than I could chew with the little bit of time I've got to work. The 2-inch dredge takes some work to get any material moved, and I start more with more overburden, and by the time I even get close to getting the overburden off, then I'm out of time. Last weekend was actually just a blessing that I got off early on a Saturday and no Sunday work, which meant I had an overnight. So we just threw everything together, what we had, and went out there. And had a pretty good little overnight. I totally just wasn't prepared. I went with the gear I had, which I put out a pretty good little outlay of cash for the little dredge. I got some different matting. I kind of don't like the miner's moss all the way down. And I don't have that much experience. You know, when you watch all these videos online of people dredging and sluicing, and they always come up with, you know, a pan full of gold, or their sluice boxes filled with gold. But what about those of us poor dumb bastards who don't know what we're doing, or we put out a bunch of money and go out and try our best and you can't find no gold? Well, that happens too. That's what they don't tell you. But I've got high hopes that I will eventually someday find some gold. They say Pedro, he's the guy that started the gold rush here in Fairbanks way back in the day, and they say he was a failed prospector for 20 years. And then he made the first big strike here in the Fairbanks area, which started the boom, which started the town. So there's still hope, even though I think every time I go out, I learn something. I got the new wetsuit, and what I found was, the bib part, it doesn't have any feet in it, so I was lacking proper boots to go with it, so I just used my old Cadus wading system with wading boots for the bottom and the wetsuit for the top, and it worked out pretty well. So that was a win. But of course, when I bought the wetsuit, I was also able to score a mask down at Pro Music. Believe it or not, Pro Music is the place to get recreational mining equipment. So I have two reasons to shop there. I scored the mask, but they didn't have the hood or the snorkel. So I was working with no hood and no snorkel, which kind of limited what I could do. But like I said, I bit off more than I could chew. It started with more overburden. I should have just went straight for the pay dirt and figured it out. I got these at Chest the Waters dive shop. Thank God. We got a dive shop locally. I bought these nifty gloves. Last two times I went out, I had real problems with my hands freezing, so I got these thicker gloves. Turns out once you get the wetsuit on, these are really hard to get on. And then as soon as I got them on, I went to prime my pump. I needed to take them off, go back to the toolbox, get a screwdriver, and tighten up a hose. And I never put them back on. I used these ones. The water was warm enough where we were at. These worked way better. Oh, another little thing. Jammering on. I have lost this twice. That first video I made this year, my first test run with the dredge, I left this by the creek bank. And hi Moto, meow. My goodness. Moto says meow. I was able to go back and get it, and then the second time I went out, I didn't take any film that time. I left it there, and when we went back there was already some miners set up dredging in our area, but they had found my pick and returned it to me. So I have to remember to always bring my pick with me. And what I didn't realize till just now, this pick has a magnet on the end. That's a real handy thing. That's one of the tests. Whether your gold is not magnetic. Huh. Well, I didn't know that. Well, anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope I didn't yammer too much. It's me, Kimmy, getting ready to search for some gold 4th of July weekend. Actually, the whole first week of July. I'll be taking film and posting for you. Thanks for watching me, Kimmy, out here.